Alrighty. Hello, Camille. How you doing?
Hi, Gerald. I'm good. How are you?
Good, good. First of all, thank you for returning. Very glad to have you back. All
Thank
right.
you. Good to be here.
Okay. I have to go over this telehealth informed consent form.
Hmm.
I have it here. You're able to see it.
Yes.
Okay. All right. So I'm gonna go over this very quickly. I'm gonna give you this. If you have any questions, you can ask me. But I'm gonna go over it. I'm gonna go over it real quick first. The first thing is confidentiality.
Okay.
Um, that just means uh, that anything that we speak here is going to be between us. Um, I won't say anything outside. I have an ethical responsibility to keep anything um, between us here. So I want you to know that. Right now, I'm in my home office, so there's no one around here. Um, in future sessions, if like you call me unscheduled, I will just try to put my headphones on. I'll move away, and privacy is very important, and I'll let you know, if I can't be in a private area or whatever.
Okay.
Okay. Second, we have an ethical responsibility. If you're suicidal, I have to I have to refer you to some sort of suicide watch program, maybe a hospital. That's just something that I have to do.
Hmm.
Um, if you disclose that you want to harm somebody or you harm somebody, if it's something really bad, real severe, I guess I should say, I do have to report that to my supervisor, and it may involve law enforcement. That's very rare, but that's also something I have to do. You know, that's just something that we have to do.
Okay.
Payment. You've already covered the payment before you came here, but if at any point you have to terminate for whatever reason, the payment is already covered. But if you have a balance too and you aren't able to payment, we have certain things that we can do to help you out there. If you want to continue with therapy, so you can let me know, or you can let the people know in the front.
Okay.
The only reasons that I would terminate therapy is if you're suicidal, and I would have to refer you to some sort of suicide watch program because that's not my area of expertise. If you intend to harm somebody, or you disclose that you harm somebody, then I would have to terminate the services there, and we'll have to follow a different process. And then the third one would be if you just aren't complying with therapy, like if I give you homework, if I give you certain tasks, you don't do that, and then certain tasks you don't do them, then the therapy won't work, and so we'll kind of be wasting each other's times. So that's only if you just don't want therapy or whatever.
Okay.
And lastly, the treatment, I will not impose treatment just because I say so. The treatment's going to be between you and I. We're going to come up with it. We're going to agree with it, and that's important. So that way, hopefully, you do. We agree, and I hope that it works. All right. And then lastly, I'm going to be taking a couple notes here. You'll be able to see them. In the future, if you want them, they will be. I'll have them here. I can email you them, or um, they're just at your disposal. And
Okay.
I just also want to mention that we also take notes because sometimes insurances they ask for notes for reimbursement. They have to have some sort of documentation of the therapy that was administered.
Right.
Okay, alrighty. So are you okay with all that? Do you have any questions?
No, I'm fine with everything. I don't have any questions.
Okay, so I'm gonna send that to you so you can sign it and return it. Okay, and then let's jump right into it. So I'm gonna do a first summary of quick little summary of what we talked about last time.
Mm-hmm.
Last time, you told me that COVID was really bearing down on you. You were kind of trapped uh, you were trapped kind of physically in your home. kind of you were kind of just confined to your home physically, and then you also couldn't do certain things that you wanted to accomplish in your life, due to COVID, and us being in locked down. So that's what I remember.
Yeah.
Um, uh, is that accurate? Has anything changed?
Um, no, that's still accurate. Nothing's really changed since then. Um, I'm kind of still in the same position that I was where we last left off.
Okay, okay. So now we get to start working on some things that I hope will help.
Yeah.
And so where are you right now with COVID? I think last time you told me that you had the appointment to get vaccinated.
Yes. So I actually got the first dose a few weeks ago. I'm scheduled to get the second dose next week. So that's already being taken care of.
Okay, awesome. All right, awesome.
Mhm.
Um, Give me a second. Okay. So that's good to hear.
Yeah.
Um, so I remember last time you also told me that you weren't able to leave your house because of some of your family members. They're at high risk, and
Yeah.
how's that looking right now?
Um, well, everyone's already been vaccinated. I'm the last one. So yeah, everyone's obviously still high risk, but with the vaccine we're feeling a little bit better about it.
Okay, and you feel a little more free, I guess.
Yeah, yeah,
Free.
I feel like I'm in a better position now that I'm getting vaccinated. So yeah.
Okay, all right, that's good to hear. That's good to hear. Just overall, we're all moving closer, to our new normal. So that's good to hear. Okay. I also remember that you had some concerns about your boyfriend and your relationship, and moving on to moving on to the next phase, of your relationship.
Yeah.
And so, are those things the same? I remember you told me that you want a house, you
Hmm.
you want to get married.
Right.
So, are those things still there, or are they still at the what we talked about last time?
Yeah. I still want all of those things.
Hmm.
Um, those are all still on the table for me right now.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So now we're gonna just kind of boil down to the problem, is what we call it.
Okay.
Um, so so boiling down to the problem basically is just trying to get to the meat of the problem. So let me know what you think. I think that the main problem here is that you're concerned about entering the next phase of your relationship.
Mm. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I would say that's the main issue.
Okay, yeah. So I feel like COVID, the role that COVID plays is that it kind of restricts you and him and all of us, work and everything. But I think that that's the main problem, and then COVID is like a side effect. Okay,
Yeah.
and so as you see there, let's talk about some of the things that you want in the short term. Short term, I guess within the next year. What are some things that you think that you would want right now with your boyfriend and uh, reaching that next stage that you want to get to?
Um, that's a good question. I feel like um, it's not even so much to do with him. It's more so for me. I want to move out of my parents' house. It doesn't necessarily have to be with him, but just to move out and like get into that next phase of my life. That's where I want to be a year from now. Um, the ball's not in my court for this, but I would hope that he proposes at that point and that I'll be engaged in a year from now. But that's not within my control. Um, And I just hope that within a year from now we have like a plan of where our life is going to be. So like I would like to, I guess, maybe have like a 5-year plan with him, if that makes sense.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay. And I remember from our first meeting that there was a couple things that you were a bit hesitant to talk to your boyfriend about because you didn't want to like make him feel bad. Is that
You
still
know.
the case?
Yeah, I haven't really been in the right headspace to, I guess, continue having that conversation. I want to be finished at least with the semester, so I can get into a better headspace to talk to him about how I feel about it, and I guess consider possible possible solutions or possible outcomes.
Okay. Yeah. So I see a situation you're in, uh, but I'm sure you already know this, but at some point you are going to have to express to him what you want.
Yeah.
And I'm sure you know this, and I'm going to be here to help you with that. But at some point, you are going to have to tell him about, for example, this first goal that we have that you want to move out alone,
Hmm.
and you like to move out with him. Um, I don't know if you would tell him that you want to propose, but
Right.
at some point, you are going to have to tell him, and probably sooner rather than later.
Yeah.
How do you think you'll be able to tell him after the semester ends?
Um,
Just tell him like your feelings, what like where do you want to get to?
yeah, I think I don't, I guess I don't know the order of how I want to do it. I don't know if I want to approach my personal goal of moving out first, or if I want to talk about my feelings about where he's at and how I feel with respect to those, to like where he is in life. Because I mean, I'm gonna move out with or without him, if that makes sense. Um, it's just, it really for me is about starting that conversation.
Okay, yeah, absolutely. And I see that you're still a bit hesitant, and I understand that. Um, what do you think is so hard about starting that conversation?
To tell you the truth, I get really frustrated when I try having that conversation, because sometimes it doesn't seem like we're on the same page, because I'm looking at things more long term and he's looking at things more short term. And I feel like when I get frustrated, that that stops the conversation from continuing, um because I'm so caught up in my emotions that I can't really express how I'm feeling, or where I'm coming from.
Okay, all right. So that's very important. That's very important, and I'm glad that you share that with me because your frustration is probably that frustration is probably why uh seems like you're kind of delaying the conversation.
Mm.
Yeah, and I get to feel that you want to be with him, you want a future with him, but that frustration is kind of like what kind of delays the conversation.
Yeah, and it's even worse now because I'm so caught up with school and everything that it's like I don't have the time to get frustrated. Like I don't have the time or the energy for it, which is why I want to be in a better headspace when I do have that conversation. So if I do get frustrated, I'm not blowing up on him.
Okay. Yeah. No, I definitely understand that. I understand you want to be in a good mental space. Um because you're already anticipating that uh, that conversation is probably mentally is probably gonna take a lot out of you,
Yeah.
because it seems like something that's been on your mind for a long time. It's clear that it's something that's important to you.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm. Okay. Alrighty. So I've written down three goals here. Um, you want to move out alone, alone if possible with your boyfriend. Another goal that I have here is communicating with your boyfriend about the next stage. Um, and frustration. Which goal do you think is most important?
Um, I want to say maybe getting a better handle on my emotions, um, because that's going to help me with having the conversation. And then the next goal, the most important one, would be to actually have the conversation.
Okay, so tell me a little bit more about that. What are you thinking when you say you want to get a better handle on your emotions?
Like, I I feel like I don't know how to properly articulate where I'm coming from. Um, which is why I get so frustrated when we hit that roadblock in the conversation. Um, because it's happened before when I've tried to tiptoe into the conversation where he'll say that one thing, and it kills it for me, and I have to drop it, because if I don't, it's I know that I could spiral out of control, I guess, with how I'm feeling, and then like it's not going to go anywhere. So I guess in essence, I want to be able to sort my emotions so that I can have a productive conversation.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. That's great. I think it's good that you understand that. Uh, you know, you understand where you're at, with your emotions, and so I think um, I think that's going to be our most important goal. Yeah. Do you agree with that with that goal? Um,
Yeah.
yeah. Our That's our most important goal is going to be how to properly articulate that conversation. So that's going to be our most important goal, because once you have that conversation, then I feel that everything else will fall into place. Uh, Wanting to move out, depending how it goes, once you have that conversation, that'll kind of lead it. Communication, now that's the same thing. And if we can figure out a way to help you articulate that conversation, and um, and have that conversation, then I feel that we can deal with the frustration.
Mm-hmm.
Mm. Okay. Alrighty. So okay, so we're gonna go ahead and proceed with that goal. Um, Now we're gonna in the next session, we're gonna go ahead and talk about some treatment, and I'm gonna implement some things that are gonna help you out with reaching that goal.
Okay. I would like to, if possible, maybe also work on how to, like, assuming that I've already sorted out my feelings and I know how to articulate. I kind of want to work on ways that I can start having that conversation. Strategies that I can use to actually begin that conversation, um, as well.
The conversation about moving out in the next phase. So that I'm
About just the next phase with him in general.
mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, absolutely. So I have it noted here. Okay. Um, So we'll definitely look into new strategies. And tell me a little bit more about that. You want to just how to start the conversation, or what would you do if you get emotional?
Well,
Or
I guess what I could do to make the conversation, I guess, to get the ball rolling. So we're having the conversation, like what can I do? Because remember, my main issue right now with him is essentially um trying to make sure that he's more financially stable, because obviously like that's a huge concern of mine. So um it's, I guess, looking into ways that I can help him figure that part out, if that makes sense.
okay, no, absolutely, it does. Sure. Okay. So so with these goals in mind, in the next session, we're gonna go into some treatment and start looking into how we can tackle these problems.
Okay, sounds good.
Okay. All right. So I'm gonna see you next week, and we'll work on that. Okay.
Okay, sounds good.
All right. Thanks.
Thank you.